Good spring. We battled through some shorthanded at some spots that we had to fight through, and real fortunate that we got through today's game with the offensive line position particularly. And I thought a lot of kids improved. Thought that the effort was good all the time. We're searching for a lot more consistency at certain spots. Wide receiver jumps out to me, and quarterback, of course. But wide receiver, we should be farther ahead in my mind than kind of where we are. We're having way too many drops, as you saw today. And then quarterback play today was good, but then you missed a couple of touchdowns on some double moves that those plays we've got to hit, and our kids know that, and they get that. Saw some positives from all three that we can build upon going into the offseason, but we certainly have got to get more consistency at those two spots, particularly some good physical runs, I thought, by Akeem and Jordan, for sure. Not that the others didn't. Those just kind of jumped out at me in the game, and thought there was some solid play at certain spots on the defensive side. T. Shepard, I thought, was real solid all day at corner. Bridges got beat on I know one deep ball. I can't remember who was in there on the other one. He's a little too aggressive. We've got to slow him down just a little bit, and had too many penalties defensively. But all in all, I'm excited about where we are. I think we have the chance to be a good football team. But, it's like everything else. This league is so difficult and so evenly matched that you have to make the most of your time between now and the next opportunity that you have to be a team. And that doesn't just mean the time that you're in the weight room or the time that you're studying film extra or working out with your guys, but also the decision-making process that you have in off-the-field issues, social decisions, academics. All of that plays a role in what we will become. And the great thing about it is we have the opportunity to control all of that. The tough thing is, you've got to depend on 120 guys to hopefully make right decisions for a long period of time. This is the period of time that's great for coaches, that you get to enjoy a little time with your family from time to time, go out and evaluate talent in spring evaluation period, have camps, and enjoy a little fishing and golf in my case. But it's also the same time that you wake up at night hoping and praying that our kids are buying into making right decisions, knowing that they affect everyone in this room.
Raise your hand, we'll bring a microphone to you. Did you get a little more offense today than you anticipated, the way the offensive line was?
No, not really. In our last few scrimmages, we've moved the ball. Probably would have gotten a little more if I would allow them to go more tempo. Just we made our mind up that they were going to go our fastest tempo in the first quarter, and then it's going to kind of, I let the red squad do a little bit more when they got behind there in the fourth quarter. But and really thought we had chances. I mean, we had some chances for some explosive plays that we didn't make. That I think would have even put some more points on the board. So I wasn't really shocked by that, particularly when you really never know, though, when you divide up. And I saw the draft going. There were matchups there that make you nervous, that you would think, oh my goodness, this could be a train wreck. But our kids competed hard, and I wasn't really surprised.
I know you don't want to name a leader or anything, but after watching these guys for the spring, the quarterbacks,
Yeah.
I guess how confident or not confident do you feel that one of those guys can be the guy this fall for you?
I'm very optimistic. I told ESPN yesterday, so I'll tell you guys, my mind would go back and forth really from drill to drill. And if I were to let you watch the drills, you guys would probably agree with me. After that one, I'd like that one. And then after that one, no, I'd like that one. And so I go back and forth, but in the totality of spring, going into today, I would say Ryan had a lead in my mind. That certainly doesn't mean he's going to be the starter. After today, I'll watch the film and put it with our cumulative stats and everything that we're judging on them, and kind of see where it is after today. But that's, again, even if we say he has a lead, it is so minute and so small and so far from being over. So I'm not sure what that means, but that is everything being transparent. That's the way I felt going into today. I may feel different than that Monday. I don't know if we're having another press conference or not, but I'll watch the film this weekend and see.
Hugh, why do you think that receivers with the obvious talent there are not as far along as you would like at this time?
I wish I knew, Parrish. I do. We've tried to. We're going to shake out of it. They're going to be fine. I mean, there's been, with the exception of probably two guys that I can think of, there's been very few continuity working every day with the quarterbacks due to injuries and rotating in this week, an injury this week. Hopefully that has something to do with it. But, you know, these guys have got to, they've certainly got to be one of the strengths of our team. And I think they will be. But, you know, Derek Jones has had an outstanding spring, and then today he goes out there and, you know, he drops two balls that just he hasn't done all spring. You know, I mean, kids make mistakes, and they have, so we'll play the next play, but it's not what I want to see. I don't enjoy seeing that. I'm a former receiver coach, so we're going to make sure that they get ready, though.
Did T tweak a hamstring on that?
It looked like it. I don't know if it was that or he's just gassed. I'll have to go see afterwards, but I'm not sure how bad it was or how much he was just tired.
If the quarterbacks stay as close in August as maybe they are right now, do you anticipate a scenario where you play a couple for a while before one steps out, or how much do you want to go with one?
If they're as close as they are now, I could see us going with the way our schedule sets up, a couple games, making sure we feel like we've done due diligence in naming a starter. But I don't want to do it beyond that, you know, and if that, I don't know. But it wouldn't shock me to go into week one with planning to get them all reps and look at it, see how they do when the lights come on and it's real. And but we won't go too long like that. I don't mind playing a couple, but you've got to have a guy this is our guy when the time comes.
Hugh, you mentioned the decision-making now after spring. I guess how much do you worry specifically about Chad and his decision-making and making the right choices the next 3 months or so?
Well, I don't have to worry just about him. I worry about all 120 of them. And in this world of social media that we live in, there are people, you know, itching to make a story about something. And as you all know, a normal college student can make decisions that are not in the best interest of them, but we can make them at that moment. We've all been there. It can happen. So it's certainly not just him. It's all 120 of them that I worry equally about. Maybe not equally for all 120. I mean, there's some that I don't worry, but you know, I do worry about all of them.
The middle linebacker, Dave Womack mentioned maybe the chance of doing that by committee at that spot. Behind CJ, how are you pleased with the guys behind him progress this spring?
We've still got a ways to go. We you know, I look forward to Sean Curtis getting here and adding some depth to that. But there's no question that Christian and Tamario made improvements. And, you know, we think CJ can do a lot of things for us. And we've just got to, come fall camp, get to plan exactly what we're going to do with him and what weeks and what looks is he best against and all of those things. But that will be a rotation there. But you need to do that anyway, and we'll kind of play to our strengths at that position.
Coach, the development of Chad Kelly and what he's been able to do since coming here, what have you seen in terms of his growth?
He's probably grown more as a person, I would say, than as a player. He had really good football IQ. He understands the game. Now, he doesn't understand, I mean, our stuff is brand new to him. He's been here half a semester, really, and so he's, you know, that's an adjustment period. The last play there, he just totally, you know, I saw what the call that they made, and he, in his mind, and I understand why. We were in a 3-by-1 set, and he totally thought the route that was called was to the left side, and it really wasn't. It was to the right side, and those are just things that are happening that he'll get adjusted to the more he does it in our system. So there is a transition period. I think it's still ongoing in regards to football. but been really pleased with how he's handled his business off the field, academically, socially, and the decision-making that he's had to make.
Coach, how would you kind of characterize the kind of conversations you want to have with Coach Werner in the next few days, and how much will you look at the way guys respond to each of the quarterbacks throughout the spring and today?
You know, I will meet with each position coach after we get all the grades in, and I'll look at the totality of the spring, the production, and how pleased we are with each position, and I'll make my recommendations. This is what I see that we have to improve on in the offseason, and so that we can get a plan together for these young men to do that when they have time to do it. And certainly Dan will be just like any other coach. I'll have that conversation with him. We'll go through the way he views things right now, the way I view them right now, and have a plan to continue helping the quarterbacks grasp exactly what we want to get done and how we're going to go about doing that in the offseason.
Coach, with Jordan Wilkins, what kind of strides have you seen him in terms of the running game, what he's been able to do since last year?
Yeah, he's going to be a solid player for us. I believe that. He's a good pass protector, hard runner, can catch the football out of the backfield, and I think he sees that now it's his time to start getting more reps, more opportunities to help this football team, and he seized it this spring.
Coach, the defense forced some turnovers late. I know that was one of the areas you just wanted to see the team improve on, just forcing turnovers. How did you feel about the defense as a whole today?
I thought they gave up the possibility of too many big plays. But the blue team up front, Isaac and Breland and those guys caused havoc all day on the red backfield. So I was pleased with that front. Red defense, I didn't think started with a great edge. Some of that credit goes to the blue offense that started the game with some good tempo. But defensively, we caused 2 turnovers late that I know of, maybe more, I can't remember. But 2, the red squad created 2 turnovers there at the end, which is good. But up until that point, I thought offense took care of the ball pretty well.
You just mentioned the tempo. It seemed like you were going faster today than you did during a lot of last season. Do you want to get back to going
We've gone back to Arkansas State days of making sure. What I found out last year is you can't go slow to fast, but you can go fast to slow. So we've definitely made an emphasis on getting our tempo back, and I think our kids handled it pretty well, and it helped us be more effective and efficient.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll have players in here in just